Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to talk about what's new in FlowFlow from February 2nd. I am actually 1 week late for this video. Sorry about that, but I was actually moving. So that's the reason why. And there are a lot of things going on with FlowFlow. I just want to mention a couple of things. I'm actually super glad that being FlowFlow ambassador gave me the opportunity to ask questions to the co-founders of FlowFlow every month. So if you actually have any questions for FlowFlow, let me know. You actually post them in the comments below or in my Discord server. If you haven't joined already, the link is in the description of this video. And today we are going to talk about the update. But before we begin, actually, I just want to mention that thank you very much for everyone who actually is a paid subscriber to my YouTube channel. It's much appreciated, and it's actually keeping me going with those videos and keep me actually growing the channel. So thank you very much for all of you guys. So without any further ado, let's jump into reviewing what's new in FlowFlow. So the first thing we're going to look is actually the callback action. And it says callback actions now has parameters, and there should be supposed to be an emoji here, I suppose, because they're always doing that. But we don't see any emoji. It's just an eye letter. And then it says callback actions can now take parameters, say goodbye to the hassle of using app state for managing specific callbacks. This improvement opens the door to creating powerful components libraries that teams can easily share and use across different projects. Get ready to streamline your workflow and build even more amazing projects. So, what's the idea actually? So, the idea is that you have a callback action, and then you can pass parameters to this callback action. So, what is a callback action in general? I would try to explain it. The concept it's not super simple, but at the same time, it's not super complex. So, the whole idea is that you can imagine it as that you have an action that you can specify, and you can have whatever action you want to have, and then you can actually execute this action using a callback. So you can actually transfer your action to a callback and then execute your callback. So your callback will have a name, and then you can pass parameters into it. So the best example for this will be if you want to actually have, let's say, you click on a component will open, and then you will actually uh, execute data after the component. So let me try to show you what I mean. So there is actually a great documentation in FlowFlow about executing the callback, and it's actually a good read. But in essentially, without execute the callback action, this example, they actually are uploading an image, and if you are uploading the image, you don't have the so basically you don't have the upload action on a button widget inside the custom component, and there is no way to set the uploaded image because this is a custom component that you see over here, and this custom component is, so to say, not linked with the page itself. But if you're using a callback, you are actually using this callback, you're actually passing the upload action and then to your custom component, and then you're executing a callback action, and then you are actually setting the image here in this page. And of course, this is how it looks like when you have your image. this is the uploaded image. And when you load the page first, so this is the page, and you are now uploading an image from gallery, and you're choosing this image, and now it's actually uploading the image, and then it's actually uploading this image like that. So this is actually callback actions. I hope you understand. If you don't know, if you haven't used them already, but yeah, the whole thing is that um, the whole thing is that you can now pass parameters. Previously, you was not able to pass parameters to your callback actions, but now you can actually pass parameters, and great actually, and you can do a lot of fun stuff with that. So yeah, play with it and let me know in the comments if it's working for you or not, and what do you think about this new feature. So let's move on actually. Okay, so the second thing we're going to look into it is updated table, sorry, data table. And it says the data table widget is now more powerful and versatile for building complex data-driven applications. Feature now include colon sorting for better data organization, sorry, toggle select for easier data manipulation and customizable page along other exciting improvements. So what that means actually, it's the data table. It's much more like Flex, and you now have a lot of more features in the data table. And we have this toggle select for easier data manipulation, which is great, and customizable pagination, which is along the lines. I'm actually not using tables in my, let me switch to my project. I'm actually not using tables, as to be honest, you can actually create the table yourself using simple calls and rows. I don't see what is the advantage of just using tables and rows instead of the table. Okay, maybe the table is just structure out of hand, and then you don't need to just manipulate it, customize it, because you have like the numbers of columns that you want to, the numbers of rows that you want to, and then we have the pagination. It says wherever this table is paginated, despite the name, this table works for non-paginated use cases as well. So I really don't know how the pagination is working. Maybe it's automatically. I will assume that this is automatic. It's not says in the information over here. Uh, that I will assume that it's automatic. I assume that it's like 10 records, something like that. You can actually see it below. It's rows per page. It says 5, and it says 1 from 4, and that means that it's 4 actually pages. And that's great actually, because you have this automatically pagination. And yes, that's right. If you already asked your questions yourself, if you ask this question, yeah, probably this is better to have a table of the pagination. If you want to use the pagination out of the box, then yeah, probably using a table, it's your best choice. And now it's like for me, it looks like that so far away, because the reason is that it's extended. I think the table is extended for me, but I think if I make it like, I'm not sure. I'm not super good at design, but my idea was to actually shrink this, so and the pages will go here, and not be just at the bottom, probably. But there are like a lot of things that you can do in order to make your table look, and probably one of not the best way out there will be to put some padding like that, for example, or maybe more, and just to be uh, aligned with the pagination on the bottom. Like I said, probably not the best practice, but this is like a very easy, let's say, so to say, fix for it. But yeah, we have a lot of things in the data table now, which is much appreciated. Like I said, we have the better data organization, which is great. We have the column sorting, which is great. So let me actually look into the column sorting real quickly. So we have the number of columns, which can be dynamic, the number of rows, which can be dynamic, and this is optional. I'm not sure why this is optional. I specify the total number of rows in order to indicate that more should be loaded. Otherwise, the total number of rows will be assumed to be the generated list length. Yeah, so if the length of the list is, let's say, fixed, let's say 50 or something like that, you don't need to specify it, because if you load your data, we already first of all, we already know how many rows will be there based on the length of your data. And then we have the UI builder number of rows, optional, and it says in order to uh, visualize, you can edit the number of rows to display in the builder. Default is 4. This does not affect the actual application. So yeah, now the default is 4. As you can see, we have 4 over here, but let's say we want to have like 8. Yeah, we now have 8, and let's say we want to have 10. Yeah, so now we have 10, and now it looks much better than before. It looks like a real table right now. Um, and then we have the pagination on. If I disable it, you can actually see that everything here goes away at the bottom. And if I enable it, it goes back on. And then we have scalable. So scalable, wherever rows are, selectable, wherever the rows are selectable via the checkbox. So if I enable this, we have now this checkbox, and we can we can select them. I'm actually interested in on rows per page change, okay, on sort change, and on page change. Yeah, so I'm not sure if we actually have an option to, if you have an action to actually on select, for example, because I, to be honest, don't see it, which would be great if there is this action, but I don't see it, to be honest. So I'm not sure if this is working or how it is working, if it's working. Then we have the hide pagination. So you can actually have pagination and then hide it, which means that basically you can have like your own pagination, which I don't think it will be a little bit complex. I don't know why you want to do it, but if you don't like how this default pagination, because you cannot customize it, right? But so that's why if you want your own pagination, you can probably do it and hide the pagination that you have it already here. And then we have show first and last buttons. So if I enable this, we are actually going to see the first and the last. So now when it's clicked, it will show the first page and the last page. And those are some stylings which are not going to get into those. And then it says that we have the sorting. And it actually says over here, it's now include colon sorting. I, to be honest, don't see where are the colons sorting. Yeah, probably it's this one, right? So it says sortable, and it says wherever this colon is sortable. If so, it will display a sort icon next to it. Note, you must handle sorting on your own by using the sort uh, onsort change action on the data table. This will not be taken care of automatically. Yeah, which is a shame, to be honest. I really, I would really appreciate if Flow make it more customization or customizable. because the reason I'm saying that is, yeah, you can do that right now, the sorting, which is great. It's basically it's just turning on and off an icon, which when it is pressed, it will actually run an action, which is this one. And this action, it says a callback action to execute when the user changed the sort order. The sort colon index input parameter is the index of the newly selected column to sort, and the ascending tells the order. Tells the sort direction. Yeah, so basically, they're actually doing the same thing they did with the list, because they added the sorting in the list basically. So if you have a list, I think it's a list view, and if you have a list view, there is actually a sorting in the list view now, but the sorting is actually working the same way. You have to actually sort it manually, which is a shame, because the logic of sorting it manually, it's a lot, to be honest. And I don't think it's like a very simple task for the normal user, so to say. But yeah, it's a good step forward. It's a lot of things that we didn't have before in Flow using the data table. Like I said, I never used the data table. I don't know what about you guys. Please let me know in the comments below. Have you used the data table and the widget, and what do you think about those upgrades? So let's move on actually. Okay, so let's continue on. This new feature is actually a new color picker, and it's actually great because we can now have brand colors, and we can easily find it with a search. So let's actually try that in an action. So if we switch over here to theme settings, and I have created this brand color, and I have a different color for the light mode and different color for the dark mode. So actually make it a little bit, I want to make it a little bit darker, to be honest. So let's make it like that. And then if I switch over here, you can actually see that if I want to change my color, if I use the default color, which is the primary color, but then I want to then I want to use the brand color, I'll actually write the brand, and this is indeed my color. And if I click over here, you can actually see my brand color, which is great actually. And then let's actually try if we can search for the hex value as well. So this is 102 to 30. So let's 102 to 30. No, I cannot. And what about if I put a hash before that? No, I cannot. So it will be a nice improvement, to be honest, if we can search for the hex values as well. I know that a lot of people are probably going to use the name of the colors to search for, but I know that a lot of designers, I have friends, I'm not a designer, but I have friends that are designers, and they actually know the hex values, memorize them in their head, especially for the brand colors that they're using or the colors that they like. So they can actually write that over here. And of course, you can still write that over here, right? So if I write, I think it was like, I'm not sure, it was like something like that, probably. But yeah, you can still write it over here and use this color. But my recommendation actually for you guys is to not use a custom core, because this will be a custom core. Not use a custom core. Always use a theme core. Actually, wherever you're using a core in Flow, make sure that you always use a theme core. The reason I'm saying that is because if you use a theme core and you want to change the core in the future, it's super easy to change it. Just go over here, and for example, if you want to change this, if I want to change this brand core, I just have to go over here and change it over here, and then it will be changed across all my pages and components and wherever I'm using this code in my project. But if you use a custom color and if you want to change it, if you use it like in a couple of places, if you want to change it, there it will be a hassle to actually change it. You have to manually change it for every single place. So that's actually a good tip, I think, for every one of you guys to use the color. So let's move on. And the last major thing that we're going to talk about is export project as Flow module. We introduced the ability to directly export the project as Flutter modules using the Flow CLI. This powerful new functionality is designed to streamline bridges the gap between Flow and your existing applications, allowing for the integration of rich, customizable, and interactive features developed with Flow. That's actually a great thing. I know that this is very specific, like developer specific, but it's actually a very good feature. And the reason I'm saying that because right now, Flow cannot be used only to create your own project, like from zero to finish. But now people can actually create. Now people can actually use Flow to create only modules of their apps and then export them using the Flow CLI and then use them in their already existed Flow. Sorry, is the existing Flutter app, and that's actually a big thing because there are a lot of like apps that have already created probably with Flutter, and it's actually hard to just move to Flutter Flow. But with this approach, Volvo is actually trying to reach even more people, and especially developers. And I talked to Abel actually a couple of days ago in our monthly ambassador session, and he said that there will be more focus this year for developers. That is actually much appreciated as a developer myself. That is super appreciated, and let's hope that. That is going to be better and better. And my personal like hope for this year is that for the flow will actually open the ability to use the modules inside the custom code. And what I mean by that is to access the Flow native widgets and their parameters in our custom code. So, for example, if you have the slidable widget, we'll be able to simply and very easily manipulate or slide the widget left and right, for example, and add our own actions and everything in between. So let's hope that this will come in this year. We will see what will happen, and that's about this feature. Like this, the feature it's very simple. You just the whole thing is that the whole project will be just a module that you want to export, and you can export it with the Flow export code project and then the token and then us module. Don't forget to actually write this new feature in the comment, and you can. There is actually a great documentation about it. So if you actually go to the docs.flow.io and click, and write CLY and you can actually see this is testing on mobile device, and then you see this CLY, and then it's actually here you can actually see how you can use the CLY and you can export your project. So that's about it. And that's about with the major features. And let's actually let's actually see the other improvements. Talk about actually other improvements. So the first in other improvements is you can now dynamically set the pin length for the pin code field widget. And if I switch to my Flow project, you can actually see that right now the length of the pin, you can actually set it dynamically, which is great, which is amazing. My only concern is that I think you can still not be able to dynamically set if you want only numbers, only letters, or both. Because you have the keyboard type of numbers, but what if you want to actually use both? What if you want to use numbers and letters? So this is probably something that will come in the future, but this is much appreciated. And then we're added a new action to clear multi-select dropdown. There is actually a user from Discord, from my Discord channel, who actually mentioned that there is no action to clear the drop down if it's a multi-select one. So what I mean by that, if you have this drop down, for example, and then you select that this is a multi-select drop down, now you should be able to, there should be an action to clear it. So if sorry, this is the pin code. I need the button. So if I click on this action, let me delete this one. And if I don't know if it's called clear or text. Yeah, probably is this one. Clear text with pin codes, and I only have the pin code right now. Probably I'm not getting something, but it says we added a new action to clear multi-select drop-downs. So this is supposed to work. Maybe it's in the drop-downs. Yeah, exactly. So this is in drop-downs. And then this is set. I'll probably want to not set it. I want to clear it. So drop. Yeah, it's the reset. Sorry, it's reset form. And if I click on reset, now I can reset it. And this is using multiple selects. So great. Let's move on to this one. You can now create your own custom ID for Firebase documents using custom ID toggle. And there is another user from my Discord channel who actually wanted to create orders, and he wanted to actually keep on track on each of the order. And when right now, if you create custom action using using this, go to backend, and then select Firebase and select create document. And let's say I want to create a document for, let's say, orders, for example. And now if I click on this check mark, which was previously not there, custom ID, it says when enabled, the Firebase document will be created using the specific ID. And now this ID can come from anywhere, right? It can come from a variable. It can start from one. So when there is no document, if it's the first document, you can start from one, and you can just accelerate it, or just add one to it. And then you can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. And this way it will be much easier to actually keep on track based on the ID alone. When was the document actually created? And this is actually how SQL database are working. So basically you can have NoSQL database using the SQL approach if you want to, which I think for me at least is much appreciated. And I will definitely use this functionality in my projects. And then if we switch here again, we're improving the UMP SDK for add modes. I am not using actually add modes in one of my projects, so I cannot say much about that. There were some issues in the GitHub issue tracker about add modes like a long time ago. So let's actually hope that this will going to fix it, or at least improve it. So let me know in the comments if this is something that is working for you, and what do you think about this update. And then the last one, it says added an option to remove the Google permissions required for automated Firebase setup. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure why they added it in the first place, but I'm guessing that they needed it to automatically set up the Firebase. But the whole why I'm saying that is because I would like, to be honest, Firebase to be as much detached from flow as possible. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because, for example, I have this video to get the FCM token in my channel, in my YouTube channel, without using Firebase at all. So what I'm trying to say is that there are some functionalities that if you can use them without Firebase in Flow, it would be much appreciated because there are some people that are using Superbase, for example, or other people using other backends. So yeah, like in total, this upgrade is much appreciated as well. So let's hope that there will be more like that in the future. And then the last thing we're going to talk is new features we're working on, and it says for Windows. So there is actually a lot I can say about that. It's right now in beta. I'm not actually using Windows. I'm not a Windows user. I'm not a Mac user. I'm actually a Linux user. I'm using Linux. Unfortunately, we don't have a native app for Linux right now for Flow. But there are people who are using Windows or the Mac version are simply saying that it's much, much better, much, much faster. And the reason for that is actually because it's using your own computer like processor. And yeah, of course, when you're running this um, through the browser, it's actually using the browser one. But of course, you have like a lot of tabs probably open. Like I think the regular user, it's more it has more than 30 apps or something like that open. So this will allow you to actually close your browser altogether and just work in Flow natively. And like I said, people are actually saying that they have like 2 times increasement in the stability and the fastness of when they're running Flow. And they are Flow is the Flow team actually are saying that we have to expect actually features only specified for the Windows for the native apps that are running for like I'm trying to say that for Windows, let's say if you're running Flow in Windows or if you're running Flow in Mac OS natively from their apps. And yeah, so that's much appreciated. Fortunately, the Linux users are left behind with that, but let's hope that we are actually going to get a native one as well. So let's see. And then we have the ability to filter API group endpoints. Yeah, that's actually a great thing. I'm still waiting, to be honest, for the curl, for the import of the curl from the API. I was still waited. I'm still waiting for it. So let's hope that it's coming in the near future. And then the third one, it's state for custom widgets. Um, I'm not really sure what they mean by that, but I will assume that you'll be able to control the state using a custom widget, using a custom code. Let's see what they mean by that. And then the last one is plus a whole lot more. We'll see what that's a whole lot more means. But that's all the updates for now, and that's the video, and thank you very much for watching. And before you go, actually, thanks for watching this video, but please help me to reach 4,000 subscribers. And when I reach 4,000 subscribers, I actually have a surprise for every single subscriber that I have. I will shuffle them and I will do a live session and I'll announce the winner. And what will be the winner? The winner should be a subscribe to the channel, and the price is this one. It's a Flow swag actually. I want to give to one of my subscribers. Like I said, It will be a live session when I reach 4,000 subscribers. And this Slack, it's actually have a t-shirt, the same that you see over here. It has stickers and it has a mug. So it's pretty good mug that you can drink your coffee or tea or whatever you like to drink from it. And like I said, I will give this to one of my subscribers. So please subscribe to the channel. And also, I'll do a live session. So it should be in the live session when I reach 4,000 subscribers. And I'll just pick from wherever who is subscribed. And it is in the live session. And I pick a winner so he or she can immediately DM me the address, and I can send this Slack box. So please subscribe to the channel to have a chance to win this amazing Slack box. I just want to say that the paid membership for YouTube is now open, so you can be a paid member to my YouTube channel, which means a lot. And thank you very much for all the people who are right now paid members to the channel.